Confession, I do love a good map. Now, this nerdy admission from such a super cool dude will surprise you, I know. You're surprised, right? Donald Trump has a map problem on his hands, the 2020 electoral map in particular. See, Trump needs to get to 270 electoral votes to win a second term in 2020. And while that might look easy enough, after all, he got 306 electoral votes in 2016, there's a bunch of reasons why Trump's path to victory is starting to look very narrow. The biggest reasons? Michigan and Pennsylvania. Trump won both states in 2016, the first Republican to pull that off since George H.W. Bush, aka the dad, in 1988. But here's Trump's problem. The 2018 midterm election results suggested a big-time snapping back in both states to their traditional Democratic roots. Democrats re-elected Senator Debbie Stabenow in Michigan and made Democrat Gretchen Whitmer the state's governor. They also won 2 House seats that were previously held by Republicans. Now in Pennsylvania, Governor Tom Wolf, a Democrat, was easily re-elected, and Democrats gained four previously Republican-held House seats in the state. Polling in both of those states also suggests that the tide has turned against Trump. In Gallup's 2018 state-by-state polling, just 42% of residents in Michigan and Pennsylvania approved of the job Trump was doing, while 54% in both states disapproved. All of that is why chatter has picked up, even 17 months before the election, about other places Trump could go to get 270 electoral votes and, with it, a second term. CNN's Dana Bash got her hands on a memo from Trump pollster Tony Fabrizio, in which Fabrizio suggests that opportunity for Trump may exist in the following states: Minnesota, New Mexico, New Hampshire, Nevada, and Oregon come 2020. Now, Trump lost all 5 of those states in 2016, but only 2, New Hampshire and Nevada, were considered swing states. None of those states have voted for a Republican presidential candidate since 2004, while in Oregon, 1984, and Minnesota, 1972, it's been a lot longer than that. In each of these 5 states, you can handpick a result here or there that might look encouraging for Trump. In Oregon, for example, former NBA player, Yale graduate, and terrible free throw shooter Chris Dudley, a Republican, came within a point of winning the governorship in 2010. In Minnesota, Trump lost to Hillary Clinton by 1.5 points in 2016, and that state has been slowly trending Republicans' way in the last decade. New Mexico and Nevada, they both voted for George W. Bush as recently as 2004. In short, you can see the logic here, especially when you consider the way the Trump campaign is painting these first feints at expanding the map. We're flush with cash, so why not consider building organizations in these states in the event we catch lightning in a bottle like we did in, yes, Michigan and Pennsylvania in 2016, which is, as far as it goes, true. At the end of March, Trump's re-election campaign had already raised $97 million and had a whopping $41 million left to spend. Trump, unlike past presidents, began raising money for his re-election race shortly after first winning the White House back in 2016. Now, what that sort of early fundraising means is that unlike Trump's first race, in which he was heavily outspent by Hillary Clinton in almost every swing state, Trump will have the money to build top-tier organizations in every swing state, and maybe even a few non-traditional swing states this time around. But don't let the Trump campaign spin on this fool you. This effort to stretch the 2020 map isn't solely about a cash flush campaign looking for places to spend money in search of opportunities. It's also a fundamentally defensive move caused by the ahistorical Trump victories in typically Democratic states like, I know you've heard this before, Pennsylvania and Michigan, combined with Trump's faltering numbers in those same states. So let's do some math. Get my pencil now. Trump won in 2016 with 306 electoral votes. Remember, I mentioned that before. You were listening, right? Good. Okay. If Trump loses Pennsylvania, which has 20 electoral votes, and Michigan, 16 electoral votes, and the rest of the map stays the same as it was in 2016, Trump is at 270 electoral votes. He gets reelected, but with 0 margin for error, meaning he has to win in Wisconsin and Florida, among other very closely contested states in 2016, which is where these 5, call them expand the map states, come in. Combined, the 5 states did only have 32 electoral votes in 2016, which admittedly isn't a ton. But when you consider the very real possibility that Trump could be down to 270 electoral votes in his best case or close to it 2020 map, you can see why 5 electoral votes here, New Mexico, or even 4, New Hampshire, can start to really pile up. Of course, all of this may wind up being a giant head fake by the Trump campaign, an attempt to make Democrats believe that Trump is committed to pressing his financial edge and to recalculate their own general election strategy. It could be. But the reality is that Michigan and Pennsylvania are going to be very hard holds for Trump, as it would be, honestly, for any Republican president. And without those 2 states, the path to 270 gets very narrow unless Republicans can put other states into that competitive category. And that is the point. We make New Point episodes every Tuesday and Thursday. Check them all out.